about something that it's not.
You're saying,
it's not just about voter ID.
married
it's
women,
also about
black
who has
voters,
access
and rural people are too stupid to figure out how to register to vote.
Scott Jennings said the quiet part out loud, exposing the left's ridiculous voter ID narrative, which caused the entire CNN panel to have a complete meltdown. Let's get into it.
In order to register to vote.
I have heard Democrats make these same arguments.
Why don't you actually respond to the substance of what I'm saying?
I am, and
as
the substance
opposed
is
to
this.
making this about something that it's not.
You're saying,
it's not just about voter ID.
married
it's
women,
also about
black
who has
voters,
access
and rural people are too stupid to figure out how to register to vote.
No, that's not.
That is not what
Democrats have been making this argument all week. It's crazy.
That is not what she said.
Are you saying they can't figure out how to vote?
Let me offer the proof.
Are you saying they can't figure out how to vote?
This is the exact same argument.
It is a fact that a majority of Americans do not have passports. Many Americans, including white people, do not have their original birth certificate or access to it.
You didn't say what you said. Rural.
I would love to offer the proof on this.
Yeah, because that is also relevant. It doesn't matter to me where people live.
I guess I have a little more faith in
do they have
rural
access?
America and married women than you do.
Look, I don't know why you think why you're making this about whether you're smart or not.
You're saying that they can't vote, that they can't figure out how to document to register to vote?
Access to documentation of proof of where you were born or proof of citizenship is an additional thing that people
because
will have to do.
Black people actually weren't even allowed.
It's a barrier.
It is a barrier.
This is exactly.
Do you have your original birth certificate?
Yes.
Okay.
But at one point, black
does
people were not
everybody
even
that
allowed
you know
to
have their
birth
original
certificates
birth
in this
certificate?
Everybody that I know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
but I know where mine is, and I know where my kids are.
So apparently, they're trying to argue that regular, everyday Americans are somehow incapable of handling something as basic as registering to vote. For years, the left has pushed the narrative that voter ID laws are racist, sexist, and designed to suppress certain groups. They've gone as far as making these ridiculous claims.
Nearly 70 million married women in this country have changed their last name, but their birth certificates don't reflect that. In Michigan's 3rd district alone, 160,000 women could find themselves unable to register simply because when they got married, they didn't change both their ID and their birth certificate. 160,000 women in my district alone.
Your birth certificate reflects the name you were given at birth, not the one you take after marriage. So if they've got that basic fact wrong, then what does that say about their entire argument? Or are they just hoping that no one questions them and believes everything they say? If that's the case, then what exactly are they implying? Are they implying that certain people can't handle basic paperwork? That they're too stupid or incapable of getting an identification card? Something that's needed to do basically anything in this day and age? Or is it the fact that you have to prove that you're a U.S. citizen that's really got them panicking? Because it seems like the majority of Americans actually support nationwide voter ID.
Okay, what's the racial breakdown on this, right? Because I think a lot of people make the argument that people of color, non-white Americans, have a harder time procuring a photo ID to vote. But even here, take a look here. Favorite photo ID to vote. 85% of white people favor it. 82% of Latino. 76% of black Americans favor it. So the bottom line is this. Voter ID is not controversial in this country. A photo ID to vote is not controversial in this country. It is not controversial by party, and it is not controversial by race. The vast majority of Americans agree with Nicki Minaj that, in fact, you should have a photo ID to be able to vote.
So if the public is this united on the subject, then why is there still so much resistance from the left? It seems like they've thrown every excuse in the book at this issue. And Scott's right. Their logic assumes married women, black voters, and rural Americans are just too stupid or incapable to figure out voter registration, that they can't seem to fill out a basic form to get an ID, and that they're incapable of handling simple civic responsibilities. That sounds pretty insulting if you ask me. And do you notice how their narrative always seems to claim that some Americans are constantly in danger of being disenfranchised? Their narrative always paints these Americans as helpless victims who need politicians and activists to step in and save them. And now they're even claiming that the SAVE Act would stop married women from voting if they haven't changed the name on their birth certificate. Just think about how outrageous that is. Seriously, has anyone ever had the name on their birth certificate, not ID, but birth certificate changed after getting married? Yeah, I don't think they thought that one through very well, but they still decided to run with it. At the end of the day, most Americans already have an ID. They use it to drive, to fly, to pick up prescriptions, to open bank accounts. And not only do they use their ID, but it's needed to do basic everyday tasks. So the idea that millions of Americans are simply incapable of getting an ID is not only exaggerated to the fullest, but it's absolutely insulting. And in a country where people can't seem to agree on much of anything anymore, voter ID is one of the few things almost everyone agrees on. And it's obvious that support for voter ID is actually at its highest level in years, across every demographic, because in reality, Americans are actually responsible and capable to handle the basic requirements to get an ID. So what exactly will these politicians and media figures who claim that voter ID is racist, sexist, or oppressive come up with next? Because it seems like the very groups they're claiming to defend overwhelmingly support it. So the real issue isn't whether Americans support voter ID, because they do. I think the real issue is that Democrats are panicking because they know if only U.S. citizens are able to vote, their future looks grim. But that's just how I feel about it. I would really love to know your thoughts on this in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.